Hello people, what's up?
Hello guys.
What's up? How y'all doing? It's so good to be here. It's
Yeah.
so good to be here. I know you guys have noticed our absence.
Your absence. I had to be absent because you were absent.
Our absence is still our absence. We've noticed our absence for I think a month plus. A month.
Yeah.
A month.
No, you're absent because I've actually come to show my daughter. Confess your sins.
Please don't mind this man. Yeah, so that's because baby girl was, that's me, the baby girl was totally and seriously sick. Very sick. I think this is the longest I've ever been ill. It was so serious. You can even see I've lost weight, and the weight where I no get.
Oh, no wonder you went on to neck.
Yes, so to cover every bone and everything
neck now.
and carry hair, I've lost serious weight. But let's see this December. Let's see what will happen. I'll use this December and eat up.
We apologize, for a lot of people that were looking up to our
skits.
the conclusion. By the way, that's the grand finale of our
the
family
roles,
the family conflict. Well, more is coming, but that's for the family conflict. So we apologize because
apologize,
of
seriously, bear with us. We are back, and I pray that none of us will fall ill again in Jesus' name.
In Jesus' name, mighty name.
Amen. So today we have something very interesting to say. I personally didn't want to bring this here because I don't know, but I felt over time I've had mothers contacting even my husband after that incident to enlighten them what went wrong and everything, what happened. So what we are talking about today is what were we talking about our daughter, Pleasant. Sometime this year she had a whole lot of challenge in her health, and along the line we got to know that it was tonsillitis.
Yes.
And adenoid.
Yes.
So
if you want to know more, just wait. We'll be back.
Yes, we'll be back.
Let's just enjoy this little introduction.
Yes. Even though it's long. So, as I said earlier on, welcome. As I said earlier on, my daughter had some health challenges. See, this video, I'm going to be real with you as possible. It might be very long, but trust me, you will enjoy it and you get enlightened.
Let me just tell you the reason why we're doing this video. She said it before, but she didn't want to make this video. I actually encouraged her to make this video because we had a lot of people who had come to us personally, as her, as me, to her and to me, to ask about the details of what went wrong in my daughter's health and how they also can benefit in their own children. I'm like, babe, there's no need to hide this, not hiding per se, but just come out there and let the whole world know what went wrong and how we can be of help. So that's the inspiration for this video. It's quite a long video. Before she started, let me just tell you. So we even had to write down some points so that we don't forget everything here. It's important. So let her tell you our own part. I'll come in as my own part.
Yeah, so I think it was after my daughter turned 1. January. I noticed okay, she started falling ill, as in based on my daughter. Even before she turned 1, we thank God for divine health and because she hardly falls ill, and that's what we've enjoyed. So when she clocked 1 and we started noticing that she always falls ill, and I'm like, what's up? First it was it's either malaria, fever, cough. It was more of upper respiratory
tract infection.
Infection.
Go ahead.
Oh please. So it kept on coming up like.
Yeah, we could be treating her like twice in the month, thrice in the month.
What is twice? And God, malaria, based on my I don't like antibiotics at all. So we're just pumping her with antibiotics, and when that one was done, she'll be okay maybe for 1 week or some days. The thing will come up again, I'm like, what is wrong? Then what really made me to be concerned, as in us to be concerned, was the fact that her sleeping pattern was interrupted. I think to some when we were around February, March, where she couldn't sleep for 3 weeks, like in the night, mostly in the night. Like when it's in the night, like she would just open her eyes and be crying, restlessness and all. I'm like, what is it? And by doing that, we were not sleeping as well. We're not sleeping. And my husband, like, maybe probably because she traveled, because sometime around that time she traveled to you, maybe that's why her sleeping stopped, maybe change of environment. I said, okay.
And also, I think we moved apartment, so
yes,
we're thinking, I don't know.
You know, we left our former apartment and we came to, so we're just trying to join the daughter, like probably it could be as a result of that. But it passed 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Like I was, it dawned on me that this one no be yo. What is it? My husband. That's when we now, you know, took it to another level. We went to the hospital and we realized that it was tonsillitis. And
Wait, they started with tonsillitis first.
Yeah, tonsillitis.
Yeah,
and me, I'm not like, what is even tonsillitis? So I started, my husband explained, and I'm like, hey, I actually thought the way my husband always liked painting stuff, like very, you know, as nothing there, that is him. So I was like, okay, fine, since it's just cough, a matter of coughs, it will go with treatment and all, now that we found out what the problem is. So my dear, the thing kept on increasing. I'm like, waiting, stop.
Anyway, so let me just explain to her what I explained to her. You know, I don't like magnifying things that are not there, but this one was there. So what is tonsillitis? For those of you who will be asking, what is tonsillitis? Tonsillitis is basically the inflammation of the tonsils. Now, if you open your mouth, I will show you a picture now. There are 2 oval balls at the base of the throat. Right, those 2 oval balls at the right and the left are the tonsils. Okay, and then for later on, you'll be hearing me talking about something pertaining to adenoids. Adenoids is at the base of the nose. So both of those pathways, both of those stuffs are in a way kind of in the pathway of your respiratory tract, like where the opening of the tonsils enter and where the adenoids, the passage of the adenoids go to, they're all part of the respiratory tract. Okay, so that's the definition. So tonsillitis is basically the inflammation of the tonsils, the swelling up of the tonsils. So what are
tonsils for?
Yes, I'm coming. Okay. Don't worry, I'm coming. Now, for those of you, like she's asking, what are tonsils for? Now, tonsils, I was going to come to this at the later part of the video, but let me just start here. Tonsils and adenoids, they are kind of like a lymphatic tissue. Not kind of, they are a lymphatic tissue. And if you know the lymphatic system, which I'm going to explain later, don't worry, we're coming there. They support the immune system. They help to clear infection and also help with maintaining our body fluid. So that is what the tonsils, as part of the lymphatic system, does. So now the tonsils get infected either by viral organism, which is more common, or a bacterial organism. The most common bacterial organism that causes tonsillitis is of the Streptococcus family. But the major issue that causes tonsillitis, the one that is more common, is the viral, where children from the ages of 1 to 5 can pick it up from schools through.
I think they said even before 1.
Yeah, but I'm using the most common age range now. Now they pick it up from schools, coughing, sneezing, all those viral infections that go on around their pears. So, what are the symptoms of tonsillitis? Anything that will block the respiratory tract. Just imagine fever. It can cause fever. It can cause sore throat. My daughter had that a lot. It can cause painful. How children will tell you that they're having sore throat. They can't talk. So you see them crying when they are eating. They're having painful swallowing. Then as it progresses, as the swelling becomes worse, they now have blockage of so they now have obstructive sleep apnea. They can't sleep for long. That's what my daughter had. They can't sleep for long. They snore because that there's a blockade there. You know, those are the major, and then they begin to lose weight because a lot of energy is being exerted by their inability to do some things. they begin to breathe more. They're struggling to breathe. So as they're struggling to breathe, their metabolic process increases, thereby making them to lose weight. And other things, they're not eating well, they could lose weight from that. So these are the major symptoms of tonsillitis. So that when we're explaining to you what we're going to explain to you, you can get a full picture of what happened. All right. So the next thing now, effect on our daughter and us.
Hey,
how did this thing affect you? How?
Hey God,
I'm not that of an emotional person, so let her tell you how it affected her. Her affectation was the one that affected me.
Which one is that? Which kind of English? Well, seriously, how it affected us as parents. But let me talk for myself. Maybe he's going to talk. He said he does not have emotions. Okay, it really affected me. Like, it's one of the things, not even main thing that stole my peace this year. Like, imagine your daughter being sick back to back, and you're pumping her with medications. You're I wanted to say wasting money. You're spending money on.
I say it because money went. Well, it's not wasting money, but money went. You're
spending money on drugs back to back. It was demoralizing. It was traumatizing, and the fact that you're seeing your daughter in so much pain, she can't sleep. It got to a point that, like he mentioned, sleep apnea. I didn't even it was even me that was like googling, like finding out since telling my husband, because my husband he prefers to keep whatever knowledge he knows to himself, because like he said, I'm very emotional. If he tells me those things, I'm like, hey God. So I was doing more of the findings, googling and all. Googling is not good though. Okay, I'm coming to that. So I found out it was sleep apnea, that sudden jacking up, from sleep due to maybe cessation of breath, and everything.
If I were even sleeping with her, you can hear her breathing stop.
Like, yes,
for seconds.
It was that serious. And when she wakes up, she's like, and sometimes she wakes up vomiting. So seeing her go through that, sometimes I was like, God, please just pass the sickness to me. This girl is too small for this. It really affected me. I cried more than I laughed. But when the father will come on screen, I'm like, hey. After that, I still go back to my sick daughter. And if someone sees her, you wouldn't even know that something is wrong with her. That girl is strong. Like, she can be hyperactive, playing and everything, but she's going through so much. And sometimes
the only thing you might notice in her is the way she's breathing. And she was walking. And you know how you're snoring while walking. You only snore when you sleep, but this one is
and
grunting.
That's how people knew her. Like, even when friends we go out and it's like, doctor,
that is how she's
breathing. Doctor, what's up? Like, does she have flu? Everybody asks that question. Anybody that carries Pleasant, does she have flu? I was tired of answering because I was tired of going to the hospital. It was so much. I cried every day. I prayed to God, Lord, help and everything. And even when we are going to that. I wanted to talk about the surgery stuff. So it really affected me. I couldn't. One of the ways I was not interested in anything, like probably work. I was like, when Pleasant turned 1 year, I'll start working, and everything. But I was not interested. Trust me, and I'll say that with my full chest. I was not interested, even as much I was hunting. At the same time, I'm like, when I start work, and this stuff continues, who am I going to live Pleasant with? I'm trying to set not.
Basic person could not actually feed that girl. Honestly, you can't feed her.
Yes, and even when
she could aspirate if somebody else tried. It's that bad.
And even when we talked about school, even that time when it was not really serious, we said, okay, let us put her in school. Well, I start hunting for job and everything. So when we put her in school, the teachers, I had to write as in a note the first day in school when she started. So I had to write like the main thing. I told them probably the main thing you're going to face is feeding. You have to be patient with her. This is how you're going to do it. This is how you're going. When you give her one spoon, give her water. All those stuff. And the teacher was like, I could see that she was scared and everything. You know, sometimes you're like, it was difficult, she threw up, you know, all those kind of complaints from school. I felt so bad. 1 week in school, 1 week out. The time she's out, she's sick.
Exactly.
We are pumping her with antibiotics. When she's okay, she goes.
You're spending school fees, she can't even stay in school.
You know, we were just trying to like make her go out there, you know, whether we see improvement or something, but there was no improvement whatsoever.
Yeah, like I said, one of the major causes of tonsillitis is virus.
Yes.
So imagine going to mix with other children who have flu and cough. Trigger.
So I was like, Kukuma, come and stay in the house. I beg. No, beside they work. I know they work again. No, let me see. Let me nurse you and everything. And this my husband, as in, like, I thank God, two people cannot be crying. Two people cannot be very, very somehow like that. So mushy emotional. He was like my strength, apart from going to God, and you know, he was like the, I don't know what is, shield.
Yeah, but sometimes you don't used to look at me as shield. Sometimes you used to look at me as the devil himself.
But seriously, you're telling someone it's a big pleasant to be fine.
Because at some point I had to emotionally shut myself out. Because two people cannot be emotionally sunk in this sickness. No, because sometimes when she comes to me and like, let's do that, I'm like, no. And the way I'm going, it's going to look as if I'm not a caring father. And yes, let me come in here. I said I was going to say this during the during those times, like during that time, we had issues. Like there was so much tension. Yes, I know the home. You will not want to hear that, but that's the truth. There was so much tension. Like sometimes I feel like, God, is this thing is Pleasant Health trying to like bring more this thing to? There's so much tension, but we thank God. It was as if we're quarreling every day because this person brings her own input. Me, I'm supposed to know better. I'm like, hey. Marry doctor, and you go around. No. And then when I do that, I honestly I don't do it in a caring manner because I cannot be emotional at that point, and I have to be like an instructor, right? So I come out with that instructor vibe, and it's like, young man, calm down. Like, so I used to feel like probably she thinks that she loves my daughter more than me. Yes, that's what she. I kept saying that. Do you think you love your daughter more than me? Because it felt that way. That's you know. I'm like this man. That's how it affected our marriage. So when a child is sick and affects you, the way it affected me personally, affected my pocket. You understand? So when I say my pocket, our pocket, because anything that I is how it goes. You pay school fees, it goes. I can't even eat well as a man. Anyway. It affected, we lost sleep. I forgot to talk about. We lost sleep. I was not sleeping on my bed again. No. Yes. I had to leave the bed for how? At the point we left the bed because we noticed sleep. So we noticed that when she slept alone, it was better, although she always wake up in the night. Like when once it's 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock, you hear her crying, you hear her snoring. So as bad parents, sometimes I don't go. He does not go. Me, I go. Yeah, I'll tell her sometimes don't go as bad parent because that sleep is important. Yeah. Okay, next one is what measure we took. What are the measures we took? Okay, first of all, when it continued like that, we went to the hospital. The doctor was like, okay, he gave us options, but he was like, before we go to the other option, let's manage it. So we decided to try conservative methods by just normal antibiotics, oral antibiotics. I think it got to a point when we started giving her prophylactically. So whether she has the symptoms or not, we're giving her prophylactic IM benzyl penicillin. So imagine a child who has no idea what's going on, going to the hospital when she's not even sick to go and receive an injection that is twice as painful as any other. So that was what my daughter had to be taking every month, with serial antibiotics. And Pleasant does not like, immediately she goes to the hospital as if she has seen a masquerade. So all those things broke my heart really. Then we went to the home remedy. Right? We had to look forward to home remedies, orthodox medicine. Yes. What are the ones you tried? How you did one? I tried ginger, lime, honey. Okay, we made it into a syrup. Ginger, lemon, honey, syrup. Sometimes we used to add grape date syrup into those things to make it a sweetener. Sometimes she used to do this ginger, garlic, turmeric. It was later that I started using turmeric. Yeah. And we noticed that it relieved her. It helps. It helps. So honestly, some people have used it. I think my brother used something like that. It worked. It helped to reduce the inflammation.
Yeah.
It doesn't take away the whole tonsil, the whole inflammation, the whole swelling away, but it reduces the inflammation, the swelling, to give the child a better breathing chance.
Yeah, so we did that, and sometimes when we at the point when we did the home remedy, it was not even working. It was not even working again. So trust me, I think that was about it now, what we did. You know, and
so if we're going down to treatment options, so at this point now, I want to tell you the treatment options that are available for tonsillitis. Like we said, we did the first one, conservative methods, right, with antibiotics, broad spectrum cephalosporins,
18 minutes, hey.
using of Orelox, using of amoxicillin,
name of drugs where I know that it was a pack drugs give my daughter.
Zithromycin, you know, those are the conservative
It can be
methods
5
at once. Sometimes we can mix 2 at the same time, but different classes of antibiotics. Then aside from the medications, the prophylactic crystalline penicillin injections. However, the treatment methods and the treatment options are available to you only with the prescription of a pediatrician. So please, regardless of the fact I'm a doctor, visit an on-site pediatrician to examine your child and find out what's best for the child pertaining to the symptoms per time. Aside from that, other treatment options are home remedies, like what she said, and the bunga of them all is tonsillectomy and adenotonsillectomy. That's removal of the inflamed tonsils or adenoids. Now, I will tell you, before she says anything, I want to tell you the indication for tonsillectomy. What are the things you see that will make you decide that it's time to remove those tonsils? Number 1, frequent upper respiratory tract infection more than twice in a month. Frequent upper respiratory tract more than twice in a month. Number 2, obstructive sleep apnea. These are all the things my daughter had. Obstructive sleep. That means always waking up intermittently from sleep because you cannot catch some breath. Number 3, rigorous and excessive snoring. Number 4, fever of unknown origin aside from the one that you know, from the tonsillitis, right? And number 5, I think that's 4. I think there are 4 major criterions for removal of the tonsils. So if your child is always having repeated upper respiratory tract infection, having snoring, obstructive sleep apnea, difficulty in eating and breathing, and then fever of unknown origin aside from the one that you know, please, it's time for you to make that decision of surgery. Okay?
Now,
so, why surgery?
Now,
so after saying this one now,
why
surgery? Why did you now decide to do surgery?
See, before this, our pediatrician suggested surgery because when we came and he was like, okay, we've exhausted all options. Ma and sir, we think it's high time. I said, surgery, never. God will heal my daughter. Divine health. Hey, you know, and everything. We didn't want surgery. He was the bunga person that said it.
I didn't want surgery. I'm a doctor. I didn't want surgery.
He didn't want. So when he, as a doctor, that says he does not want surgery, I mean, go call once, like, you know. So we didn't want it, and that's even I can remember some of his colleagues were like, "Nsika, do this girl surgery. We leave this girl. She's going through it." We said no.
I didn't want surgery because I know I did it the right time for surgery. It's supposed to be from 3 years to 5 years, but I didn't want it. Because even at the surgery I'm talking about, there are complications to the surgery.
Me, sir, I did not want anything surgery, like, as in...
There's nothing that you put knife inside, there's no complication.
I didn't want to hear the last of, so when he suggested, I said, no, sir, we'll continue managing with the mess. He said, no problem, he's just suggesting and all. So, and when pleasant stuff was going, as in getting serious, I think... I was still very bent on no surgery. There was one day we were preparing to go to church. He slept with Pleasant in the afternoon. So Pleasant, that sleep apnea thing, Pleasant, and vomited on the bed. I was angry. I was like, Pleasant, what is it? Pity me now. What is it? I'll give you food and you vomit. And everything. My husband just looked at me, babe, you're taking it out.
You know, that was the first time in a long while I had slept with her.
You know,
to hear the way she was breathing, and then that event happened. I just said,
he said, no, we are taking it out. Do you know, I slept with her.
As in, she's suffering.
She
if
when
that
she was
girl
breathing,
could speak, his waka, she would have
I'm
been
telling
telling
you,
us.
you know, when my husband told me
I'm
we
like,
are taking
what?
it out, I started crying. I said, babe, please. He said, no, we are taking it out. Pleasant is suffering. Pleasant is, as in that day, when I want to speak Ibibi, I said, women do though, like life fire me. You know, we were about going to church. At church, I was just thinking, and everything. And that's how we.
Even at church, I was having more convictions to take it out. Even the God I was believing. Funny enough, I'm not saying that God doesn't heal, but we learned something from who was I was speaking to us. God works in different mediums. Just like some people say CS is a sin. Okay, that's my father-in-law, her brother. God works in different mediums. There was a situation that he used in the Bible which made a lot of sense, and I want you to understand. He said there were two blind men in the Bible. One, Jesus healed with just the word of mouth. The second one, he used mud and put on the eye. God works with different mediums.
For one, he can use this word of mouth, you know. And prior to that, when he said that, as if they put, prior to that, I read a portion of the Bible, like the healing of the blind. So at the point I was talking, I was like, God, I want clarity in, one of the scriptures like that. And when he said that, I was like, no, it's only a confirmation. He said, MK, trust God. Whatever you guys have decided, God is going to go before you and make everything successful.
The following days after, we now took her to go and do a scan of the neck. Lo and behold,
I think it's before we even agreed on surgery.
You sure?
Yes, it was before, because we never agreed on surgery. The thing was,
okay, yeah. It was before then.
It was me that was like, no, let's go and
even when we saw that, we were still saying no surgery. Okay, yes, it was before then.
It was before then.
The whole apparently I knew what I saw. Let me confess for you guys now. When they did that scan, right? The consultant was there before us explaining everything that he had seen. My wife was there, she was hearing, but I don't know how she didn't hear where. The consultant was just saying that the tonsils are so enlarged, the adenoids are so enlarged that there's little passage of airway. There's little passage in between them. I mean, air cannot really pass, it was blocked. The way he explained it, I was so happy that my wife could not understand the medical terms he was using. So me, I gave some reassuring words to. I said, yes, they are enlarged, but there's still small passage because I didn't want surgery. We now saw an ENT surgeon. So the person that is meant to take out tonsils is an ear, nose, and throat surgeon. So locate a good one if you don't have. So we saw him, and then we showed him I showed him the scan, the X-ray. So my wife now came for us to review our daughter together. What did he tell you?
He told me. First of all, he said, as if my husband did not tell him already. I was now, which kind of person? He said, okay, tell me what is happening. Tell me what is wrong with your daughter. I just looked at my husband like, what is this? Okay, now I said, okay, it started sometime like 8 months ago. Like 8 months. Okay, continue. I now told him everything. Then after everything, he said, you're a wicked woman. I'm not like, I just looked at him. I said, this one, let me know. He said, you're a wicked woman. Seriously, over 8 months, and you made this girl go through this without surgery, without, he said, I bet you, if it happened to you, the next week, you would, go for surgery. And I'm like, sir, I just wanted, you like. So
the guy tell us. So he was very blunt.
He was very blunt.
So we decided to do the surgery. Now discuss the surgery day.
Okay, I wanted to tell. Well, wait, excuse me. Now, when you meet an ENT surgeon, right? No matter the fears you have, I had fears. I had to let it out. I was really blunt. The way he was blunt with me, I was really outspoken. I asked him some complications, some things I read, so that he's going to assure me, so that you're also going to know whether this person knows what he's doing. I asked him a whole lot of questions, and I so thank God that he was patient and also real with me. He said, yes, there are complications, but he assured me.
I would give you those assuring words. I will tell you the complications and then the life after tonsils. What he told us, which I will share with you. and then we'll do that
Yeah.
at the end of the video.
So, and the man was not even the like pressurizing type. He said after that, he said, "So, what's your final answer, Sam, ma'am?" You know, like, we'll take it out.
So on the day of surgery.
On the day of surgery, that was the next week. You know, seriously, fear can make you think like well done, you know, and everything. I can remember that week prior to the surgery, I was having dreams, bad dreams about every, you know, maybe something was going to go south, you know, and everything. But I prayed about it, and we believed God that Pleasant was going to go into that surgery room and come out better. Now, we went to the hospital a day before the surgery, like a night before the surgery, and looking at my daughter, she was happy, like as if she knew, or she knew what was going. She was just everywhere on the bed, you know, mommy. I was just like, hey, God, so tomorrow make it, you know, and everything. And the surgeon was like, it's 1 hour surgery, even less than 1 hour, you know. So that day of the surgery, they told us not to give her any food. They told us what to do, not to give her any food that day. And 12 o'clock was supposed to be the day for the surgery. And the doctor came. I saw my daughter being led out. They wore her, you know, everything. And I was like, I was scared. I would not go lie. See, I have faith, but I was scared. And my beautiful husband, and my husband that has been strong all this time, cried.
Wow, crying.
Oh, when he was wearing his daughter theater clothes or something, I saw my husband crying. I said, "My mom don't finish you." I saw my husband crying, and surprisingly, I did not even cry. I was like, "Hey, babe," as I didn't even know what to do. Not like held his daughter hug. I said, "What is this one? You people should not do." And I'm so much. I was grateful that he was a part of them. You know, the surgeon said he could come, you know, be a part of them. And I was like, I held my husband and I said, "Open your eyes, see what is going, see what that man is doing. Don't sleep there. Don't take anything. Like, pray before the starts. It's good that you're almost see me."
So I went to the theater. And the theater was a different ballgame entirely.
I wasn't there anyway.
They had to do a general anesthesia to put her off. So she could not lie on the bed for the anesthesia to take place. So they had to tell me to hold her. So I held her while they gave her the general anesthesia. I felt like life was leaving my daughter. I started crying. But at that point, I could not cry out loud so that the surgeon would not drive me out of his theater. You understand? Man, it was so emotional. Like, I'm like, wait, this girl used to sleep, I did not wake up again. Or go for as a lot of thoughts came to my mind, and then finally we finished that. They put her on the table. Then after the surgery, we had to wait for her to come up, and then we brought her to the mother in the room.
And seeing my daughter, you know, before this I went out. I was like, "Nurse, why are they taking time?" He said, "Ma, please calm down. I don't know. The theater is far away." I said, "Please, I beg." I now came inside. I was like, at that point, I told myself I was not going to even pray again. I was trying to watch movie not even enter my head. So one day I saw my daughter after 3 hours. It was 3 hours. After 3 hours, my daughter came in. The first thing I noticed was the bloody nose and the bloody mouth. I said, "Hey, God," I couldn't hold it. I was crying. I saw the doctors coming, nurses, like everything went well. I had to call my husband. I said, "Babe, what's up?" He said, "Babe,
at that point, I didn't even tell her that there was any bleeding, anything.
Yes,
I don't know which.
He didn't tell me. I just held his hand. "Babe, everything. Why did it take time?" He said, "It's just one of those things, you know." I saw my daughter. They kept her on the bed. They brought, what's that thing that what's that stuff they put in the nose, or the oxygen, whatever.
Yeah. What's the oxygen? I can't remember.
Why won't you remember that thing they were putting in the nose, hand, toes, and all?
Okay, they were checking her saturation. Yeah.
They brought all those things. So many things were on her body. They now said, "Sleep by the side, please." My husband said, "Go and sleep with her." When I just went, my daughter was grunting, like, and I don't know. I think it comes with the surgery. When you do the surgery, your voice will change or something. I must see me crying. my husband just said, go. Let me take care of her. It was traumatizing.
Yeah. So we a day after the surgery, she started getting herself, but she was still in pain. You know, it's a surgery that is a day you can't even live the same day, but the doctor was just advising stay So she had to now, life changed. Aside from the analgesics she was having, we had to convert all her feeds to cold food. Because after surgery, you cannot take anything hot. So you have to take cold ice cream, cold yogurt, cold water.
And before this, my daughter doesn't like all those kind of, she does not like fizzy drinks, just water. So it was hard. She didn't take all of those. Yeah. The father bought, you got ice cream, different flavors for where you got juice, 5 Alive for where Pleasant, no way. So because of that, we had to put more drip, right?
Yes, we had to continue more IV fluids.
IV fluids.
And then I think the next day, that's 2 days post-op now, we're now advised to start giving her food, but they should all be cold. So imagine my daughter eating cold cereal. And
she does not like cold cereal.
Oh my God.
So it was a struggle, but she was taking it. No, they said no matter how small, but let something just enter her.
So that was basically all about it. So now I'm going to tell you what happens after the tonsils are removed. What happens after tonsils are removed? This was one of the questions that my wife asked the ENT, which I'm sure you want to ask. Okay, you said tonsils are involved with infection clearance. If tonsils are removed, what will happen? Does it mean that my child will be having frequent infection? Yes and no. Yes, in the sense that every child is prone to infection. Every child. Okay? So whether you remove the tonsils or not, whether you remove the tonsils or not, you're still going to be prone to infection. Let me shock you that it is more, you would have more infection with your tonsil inflamed than when the tonsils are removed. Because when the tonsils are inflamed, is a way the immune system is kind of compromised, making that place susceptible to taking any kind of infection, and then you can have infection. However, if the tonsils are removed, as part of the lymphatic system, there are other lymphatic tissues and systems around the body that would substitute for an infection clearance. Example of lymphatic organs is the bone marrow, the thymus, the spleen.
The word spleen.
Spleen, yes, spleen. They are all part of the lymphatic organs. Bone marrow, thymus, spleen, the lymph nodes, the tonsils, and the mucous membranes of the GI tract. Okay.
Oh, shit.
So you see, tonsil is just part of the lymphatic. Tonsil is just part of the lymphatic tract. And why tonsils are mostly affected in all these infections is because the tonsils and adenoids, which are both part of the lymphatic system, they are one of the first contacts to anything that goes into the body. So you swallow anything, you perceive anything, they are one of the first defense tissues of the body. So that is why they are the ones that are mostly the target of viral and bacterial infection, and that's why they can be easily inflamed. So will the quality of your life, of the life of your child, change after tonsillectomy? No. In fact, it gets better. With the tonsils and adenoids removed, the body begins to build. The body already has defense systems, the lymphatic systems all around the body, the lymph nodes everywhere, the buccal area behind the ear, periauricular and all that. Now they begin to act as infection clearance mechanisms and agents. Hence, nothing will happen to your child. Your child will still be sharp and well. Not taking out those tonsils can bring some complications. That's the next point. Some complications of tonsillitis. You have what we call the peritonsillar abscess, where the tonsils become inflamed. If they're not taken out, they begin to form some pus now gather around that area. That's what we call the peritonsillar abscess. Another thing that can happen is peritonsillar cellulitis. This time, because of the inflammation of the tonsils, other mucous membranes around there get inflamed. You now have the peritonsillar cellulitis. Then recalcitrant upper respiratory tract infection. Yes, upper respiratory tract infection that keep coming in and going out
of infant
without an obstructive sleep apnea that can actually lead to death. It's one of the complications of tonsillitis. That one is quite rare. Development, yeah, that one is part of the things you see, loss of weight and all those things. So these are the major things that you should know. Complications of the surgery. The only complication there that will be troubling to you is just the bleeding. Of course, if you cut any mucous membrane, it will bleed. However, there are protocols kept in place for such things as that. And a seasoned ENT surgeon or a seasoned pediatrician who can do ENT, because there are some pediatricians who have some some tonsillectomy skills, would know what to do when they have to do them. So it's nothing for you to be afraid about. It's actually a surgery that if it's indicated, please do it to improve the quality of your child's life. All right?
Now,
Final advice.
final advice, yeah?
Yes.
If they now I was telling my husband after Pleasant was done with her surgery, we've not talked about life after surgery now. Like, how was she?
Okay, talk about that.
Yes, guys, after maybe 1 week of after surgery and everything, I noticed change. My daughter was more lively.
Yeah.
She was eating my daughter does not eat any snack. She does not snack. She does not take biscuits. But after that, I think the father bought shawarma or something. She was I think I'll put that video because it was so funny.
Struggling shawarma.
Shawarma.
Hey.
Pleasant. She was taking fizzy
drink and juice.
Oh
my god.
So imagine what she was taking. Like then I used to blend her food because she could not.
You cannot, yeah.
So now I even went to another level, mashing it because so she took that in.
Sleeps at will. My daughter.
That's the time I started adding small weight though.
Sleeps at will now.
She will sleep without interruption.
She has a time that she sleeps.
Yes, she slept as in throughout the night. Yeah. No waking up.
In fact, you have to go in the morning. Sometimes when it's during weekend, we just leave her. 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock. That's when she's waking up. So she sleeps.
What is 8 o'clock?
If you leave her, she can even sleep more than that. 10.
I'm telling you, I said my daughter sleep. You lacked it, you were deprived of it. Then about us, we slept fine. We had peace of mind.
Our lives became more coordinated.
Yes. And I'll shock you. I kind of after the surgery and everything, I thought probably she'll have recurrent probably she'll have flu or something as she starts school, because the doctor said she shouldn't start school until the next review they have with her. So after that review, she can start school. That was after she started the term late, half into the term. And I was like, God. So everyone knew in school that she went for surgery and everything. So they were treating her like I beg, you guys should be careful. Watch what she takes on the ground, and But to shock you, Pleasant school, the term ended 2 days ago. Right from the time she started school, she has had no incident of flu whatsoever. Even the teachers were like, Pleasant is more lively. Pleasant is more involving in school activities. So many good reports, and we saw it. We all saw it in our eyes. And I have got to give God all the glory. Her life was awesome after the surgery. And if I should give any advice now, moms, dads, please, if you have this issue with your children, any of your children, surgery is the way forward. I mean, if that's if you as in you've gotten conviction, okay, fine, you want to do the surgery or something, yes. Surgery is the way forward. It will relieve you a whole lot. There is no need to be scared. We told you we were scared. I personally was scared.
I was scared as a doctor.
There is no need to be scared. I can tell you that 100% with all amounts of confidence. There's no need to be scared. It's the best, as in best way, because after that your daughter or your child, your son, will have a good, as in quality life. Everything is just going to be okay. And Pleasant started adding weight. She started regaining weight and all. And seriously,
her life has never remained the same.
Yes.
Give Jesus praise.
Amen.
So for those, let me just end this as a medic. Now, some people would say, let's just wait it out. We heard that tonsillitis, the tonsils get shrunk up as the child grows. Yes, it's true, because the more they grow, the more they go towards the age of puberty, the tonsils, since they would rarely be used again, they begin to shrink. However, if you cannot wait till that time. So a lot of things that doctors do, the conservative methods, are to give the child a fighting chance to when they're about 5-6 years, when the tonsils would have been much more shrunken than normal. But if that child is suffering before then, do you still want to wait? Take that thing out and give that child a better life, please. So that's my own advice. And are there chances of tonsils reoccurring? And really no. Really yes. Because when they are 15 years, basically all the tonsils should have been should have been not significant. And even if they are, nobody will tell you to go, and it's going to be on a very, very down note. I'm talking about to those who the tonsils have not been removed, though, and then they say they want to wait it out. If later in future it can reoccur. Yes and no, it can. It can reoccur. And at that point in time, in fact, most doctors will not want to do surgery for tonsillectomy as an adult because the bleeding will be more. So they'll be giving you conservative methods. Some others, if it becomes worse, they want to take it out at that point. It's better.
Even one of my child's, as in the parents in school, when he found out that Pleasant went for tonsillitis,
tonsillectomy.
Yes, he was not like Jesus, that we did the best.
Her child is 11, I think.
Yeah, 11. That we did the best. We went the best way, option or choice. That her child, she was also waiting it out, and all, and it really, really affected her. So she just did her surgery, the child's surgery, when the child was 11, and it was not funny. It was not funny. It was so difficult. So please, instead of waiting, the
younger the better.
Yeah, instead of waiting, just get done with it. I mean, you. And after that, I even met mothers who we shared experiences. One of the mothers said that her child, she would have lost her child, that the child turned blue in the night. That's when she saw that it was very serious, and that's when she now did the surgery. So see, don't wait until it gets serious, because you don't know what will happen. It's just better and best that you do the surgery once and for all and get your life back.
Alright guys, I hope we have been able to convince you with this very long video. It was very
46
much
minutes
that we make this video to educate everyone out there about the importance, or to educate everyone to educate everyone there about tonsillitis and the importance of following through with your treatment options, especially tonsillectomy. I hope you learned one or two things, and I hope you will use this video to bless somebody out there who is trying to make up their mind to do that surgery. Okay, babe, over to you. Please round this up. I'm hungry.
Oh wow, for just 40 something you're hungry. Okay, that's all about it. See, if I'm going to talk, it's going to make it longer. So if you want to know more, you want a shoulder to cry on, please DM me, send a DM, send an email. I'll be glad to say more about this. I mean, what you've not heard on screen, I'll be glad to support you all the way, because seriously,
perfectly, if you're in Abuja, don't worry.
Yes.
I have options for you.
Yes, seriously, because
the best hands.
You need support when you're going through this kind of thing. So, signing out.
Peace out.
Peace out. Stay blessed.
Get out.
Please, if you're new, subscribe. Turn on the notification bell.
Didn't you like this video? Didn't you like this video?
Or are you not glad to have me back?
Won't you want more health tips?
Won't you want more motherhood tips?
Won't you want more fine boy tips?
Won't you want more fine girl?
Copy. Bye-bye.
Bye.